Good evening. Tonight we're going to be doing our college football ranking show recap, plus an NFL article, a reason for optimism for all 32 teams. Let's start with college football. Let's see how many I agree with. Georgia needs to win more than the Vols do on Saturday. Honestly, I think they both equally need this game. To be honest, I think that's an overreaction of a headline. And because if Georgia wins, Tennessee will have one loss and likely not win the division. So what would be the difference between the two? They're saying Georgia, with a one-loss Georgia without winning its division, will be very unlikely to go to the playoffs. But I would argue it's the same for Tennessee. I mean, I just think it's a bad headline. I mean, they both need the game. Michigan's non-conference schedule is holding it back. Michigan needs to beat Ohio State in order to make the playoffs. And Michigan also needs Tennessee to beat Georgia. You know, hold on, let me think about it. Okay, so Tennessee's number one. If they win, they're obviously number one. If Georgia's number three, they lose. They could fall. But if Georgia wins, they're not going to. See, I actually changed my mind about Georgia. Georgia does need it more because I think Georgia falls out of the top four if they lose this game. Whereas I think Tennessee can get away with a close loss and still be in the top four. As far from Michigan, look at my shirt, go blue. I'm going to sound like a pessimist. I don't think we can beat Ohio State this year. And I don't want to be called a fake fan. I just don't want our season to be fucked up because we lost to Ohio State, and that was it. But then again, you control your own destiny. And so basically, for a Michigan fan, it's real simple. Wolverine Nation, my message to you. Think of this as the BCS era. If Michigan loses to Ohio State, they're out. But we get to go to the Rose Bowl, so I'll take that. I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to call the season a failure if we lose to Ohio State. Because I don't consider losing to one of the best teams in the country on the road a failure. I just can't do that. Because one of them has to lose. But as far as Michigan, here's what we need Saturday. A TCU loss would be good for us. We would likely need Tennessee to beat Georgia. That would help us, I think. We need Clemson to lose. Because I know people are going to say, oh, Michigan controls their own destiny. Dynasty. No. I'm saying that I'm going off the fact I think we're going to lose to Ohio State. And I still want to make the playoffs. So if that's the case, we need Tennessee to beat Georgia. We need Clemson to lose, and if TCU drops one, that will do wonders for us. Because TCU's only shot, I think, is to go undefeated. So, Michigan, a Clemson loss would be huge for us. Because a one-loss Clemson, I think, will have a hard time getting in. Just because of their weak-ass schedule, and DJ Ukulele sucks. But one-loss TCU's out. See, Georgia, Tennessee. So, see, there's still Bama lurking. An LSU win over Bama would be so big for Michigan. Because then Bama would be gone with 2 losses. A TCU loss, they're out. Clemson loss, difficult path. So, what we don't want to happen is a scenario where where Alabama has one loss in the SEC championship game and wins, because then you have a one-loss Alabama along with a one-loss Tennessee or Georgia. They would both get in, so that'd be 2 SEC teams. Plus Ohio State, that's 3. Then there's one spot between a one-loss Michigan, and if Clemson wins out, they're in over us. So, guys, I think this is going to be very hard for Michigan to make the playoffs, because I don't think they'll beat Ohio State, and I think there's just too much that has to go right if we don't beat Ohio State to get in. The Pac-12 isn't done yet. Okay, let's think about it. Another scenario. You have a one-loss UCLA, Oregon, and USC. If one of them wins the Pac-12, would they get in? See, that's another problem Michigan has. Is if you don't make your conference championship game, that is just a crippler. Now, depending on the team, if it comes down to one-loss Michigan or one-loss UCLA, Michigan goes. If it comes down to one-loss Michigan or one-loss USC or Oregon, one of those two would go. See, here's the problem. And this is what sucks about 4 teams, is that there's teams. I could sit here right now and I could read off. Example, who in the top 12 would beat Clemson? Number 5, Michigan. Would Michigan beat Clemson? Yes. Would Alabama beat Clemson? Yes. Would TCU beat Clemson? I don't know. And yes. Actually, I don't know. Their defense is shaky, TCU's. Who's number 8? So, hold on, guys. Let me look at the rankings. TCU, meh. Could Oregon beat Clemson? Possibly. Could USC beat Clemson? Yes. Could LSU beat Clemson? I don't know. Could Ole Miss? I don't know. Could UCLA? Yeah, I think UCLA would beat Clemson. So, and Clemson wouldn't beat Georgia, they wouldn't beat OSU, or they wouldn't beat Tennessee. So, guys, Clemson's not a top 4 team. And what fucking blows is that they're going to backdoor their way in with playing nobody, and we're going to have to watch them get absolutely bitch slapped in the first round of the semifinals. And I want to hear a goddamn Clemson fan talk about how great Mr. Ukulele is. Newsflash, he doesn't play anyone. I could throw for 500 yards against Wake Forest. My grandma could do the same thing. I don't care what he does against the trash-ass ACC. Okay? Clemson fan, Tater man, And, yeah. Next one. TCU and the Big 12 should be concerned. Yeah. Here's why. Like I just mentioned in the earlier part. If TCU loses a game, they're out. The only chance TCU has to make the playoffs is to go undefeated. If they don't go undefeated, they're not going to get in. The anger index. TCU is the most angry of the fan base. I agree. And you know what sucks? It just sucks because it just sucks that Clemson's going to magically get in somehow without playing anyone. Anyway, that's all for my college football rant. Again, Michigan gotta beat OSU likely. Let's be honest, and I don't think we're going to beat OSU. So, if you're like me and just saying, hey, we're probably not beating OSU, book your tickets to Pasadena. We can go watch us play either USC or Oregon in the Rose Bowl, which I'd be okay with. I'm not going to be upset about that. And no, I don't think any of our players would sit out. Michigan is a family-type environment, and the players love their program, and they will play the game. Anyway, NFL, reason for optimism for all 32 teams. The Buffalo Bills, playing like the best team in the league. I'd agree. Buffalo's the best team in the league. No one's beating them. Philly. Reason for optimism. Stellar start, easy finish. Agreed. Philly is also gonna play. I think Philly and Buffalo are gonna play in the Super Bowl. Chiefs. Reason for optimism. Patrick Mahomes, obviously. Cowboys. Reason for optimism. Defense, but also offense. I agree with the defense part. Offense, I'd be a little concerned because Dak does not perform well in the playoffs. But defense is definitely one of the best in the league. Minnesota, reason for optimism. Success in close games. Yeah, but Kirk Cousins' playoff record's lingering. They got talent, though. Yeah, I think Minnesota can be a threat in the NFC. Baltimore, favorable remaining schedule. Who do they got? They face the Steelers twice. They get the Panthers, the Jags. Yeah, I think they're fine. Reason for optimism for the Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa. I disagree. Look, I think Tua's an okay quarterback, but I don't think he's the reason to be optimistic. Seattle, reason to be optimistic. Rookie class. I agree. I think Seattle is going to be a really good football team in a couple years. San Francisco, reason for optimism. Offensive targets. Yeah, that's great and all, but Jimmy G sucks. But that defense is badass. Titans, reason for optimism. Rush attack with Derrick Henry. Absolutely. He's the only positive I can say about the Tennessee Titans. Giants, reason for optimism. Saquon Barkley. Absolutely. Bengals, reason for optimism. A clicking offense. If Burrow, yeah, I agree. Burrow, Higgins, Boyd, Chase. They can click. They're back in. They could make the Super Bowl. Jets, reason for optimism. Defense. Agree. Sauce Gardner's the real fucking deal, kids. Reason for the Rams optimism. Cooper Kupp. Yeah, that's about all. Falcons, reason for optimism. They play in the worst fucking division in football. So yeah, they have a shot. Chargers, reason for optimism. Joey Bosa. I think it's Herbert. Hold on. Reason for optimism for the Patriots. Stevenson. My reason is Bill Belichick. Buccaneers, reason for optimism. They already beat the Falcons once. Yeah, that's a good point. Redskins, reason for optimism. Defensive line, agree. Packers, reason for optimism. Aaron Jones, agree. Saints, reason for optimism. They're capable of playing mistake-free football. I don't know if anyone is. If they're so capable, why are they 3-5? Colts, reason for optimism. Defense. Yeah, because Matt Ryan fucking blows. Browns, reason for optimism. Offensive skill talent. Again, they're 3-5, but I agree. Cardinals, reason for optimism. This one should say when Kyler Murray isn't fucking around playing Call of Duty. But Hopkins is the reason for optimism. I agree. Broncos, reason for optimism. Defense. Absolutely. It's the only thing holding their ass up. Bears, reason for optimism. Justin Fields' development. I agree. I think Justin Fields has taken a lot of key steps into becoming a better quarterback this year. Raiders, reason for optimism. Star-powered offensive skill positions. Yeah, that's fair. Panthers, reason for optimism. I don't see South as a mess. Yes, absolutely. Jaguars, reason for optimism. Travis Etienne Jr., agree. Steelers, reason for optimism. TJ Watt's return, yes. Lions, reason for optimism. Oh, God, it's year 2 of a rebuild. Fuck that shit, okay? My ass. Other teams seem to be doing their rebuilds just fine. What's the excuse for us? Hopefully we get a new head coach. Dan Campbell is an absolute buffoon. He has no idea how to call a game correctly. I'm done. I'm done with the Fords. I'm done being told to wait. I'm done. Okay? Texans, reason for optimism. Rookie class. I don't know, man. They suck too, but I don't think there's a reason for optimism for the Lions or the Texans, to be honest. Honestly. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe and have a blessed evening. Oh, as far as the Eagles Texans tonight, I think Philly wins 34-21. Have a blessed evening. See ya.